My name is Tori.
And I'm Bree.
And we are not dating. And welcome back to our podcast. So, today we have something rather exciting to talk about. We on this channel we have our book series review where we do the All for the Game series. Then we have our TV show review where we are watching currently Cat for Cash. Then we had our manga section where last time we did our tops and only our tops. Today is like the fourth week of the cycle that we just kind of do whatever the fuck we want. Something miscellaneous, some bits and bobs here, if you will.
We're open to suggestions, but we'll never take them.
I will make sure that Bree listens to them at least.
Nah. We'll read them. We'll be aware of them. We're still gonna do what we want.
And today is something we really want to talk about, right?
Yeah.
So today our topic is, drum roll please. It is the Omegaverse. Da, 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 da. And boy oh boy do we have a lot of thoughts on the Omegaverse.
Mm-hmm.
Before we begin, we gotta do our housekeeping stuff, right? There's something that if you're new here, you ought to learn. If you're returning, you know the drill. Say it with us. 1, 2, 3. This is not a safe space. It's not safe for you. It's not safe for us. It's not safe for fans of the Omegaverse because we are about to shake things up with our controversial opinions that are always literally correct. So, yeah.
You might be wondering, where'd the mic go?
It
didn't go anywhere.
Bree's ass.
Actually, believe it or not, it's hiding behind our favorite man here. In case he doesn't look obvious to you. This is the Greek god Dionysus. And just a little bit background info, in case you don't know who Dionysus is. He's the god of ritualistic pleasure. Feeder. And most importantly, this motherfucker invented wine. That's what's going on here. He's got this thing. I don't know what the term is, but this thing you drink wine out of it. He loves a good orgy. He loves anything sexual. He loves the arts. Most importantly, queer icon. And what better way to honor him than the Omegaverse?
Exactly. So who is it? Did you say his name?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed it. One more time for those in the back like me who didn't hear it. Say hello to
Dionysus.
Dionysus.
That's the first thing I said. I said our good friend, Dionysus.
I was distracted because what you guys can't see is this thing that we were talking about, or Bree was talking about, that he drinks out of. Mm-hmm. It does look like it's going into his ass.
It does
look
like an
enema. So when we first saw
Mm-hmm.
this, we thought he was giving himself a douche, and we were like, that's so slay.
Yeah, and these are grapes.
Yeah.
He has a crown of grapes, which is a symbol of Dionysus. Because before anything, he is the god of wine, but loves some ritualistic. It's a hard day for me. Pleasure. But he also, like I said, you'll love this. You like this. Theater, too. I had to re-say everything that I just said in case she missed it.
I only missed his name. I didn't hear if you said it or not. Anyway, more than welcome to give him some shine, right? Gotta give our praises to our guy.
Yeah.
Give him mad respect.
Have to honor him.
So this episode in the Omegaverse goes out to none other than Dionysus.
And if you jack off tonight,
say his name.
say it to him.
Yeah.
He loves that.
We do it every time.
We do.
Yeah. When we're not yelling each other's names. Anyway, today we have a pretty hefty topic. We have the Omegaverse. Mm-hmm. What is the Omegaverse for some of you that don't know?
We'll give you like a basic little rundown. So it all started when we were born. There's this little website, I don't know if you guys know about it. It's pretty niche. It's called AO3, or Full Government, Archive of Our Own. It all started because if you guys are familiar with a show called Supernatural.
Supernatural.
There are two characters, they're brothers. Their names are Dean and Sam Winchester. Throwback to Tumblr. Somebody wanted to write what the fandom now calls Wincest. Yeah, which is
The Omegaverse
Sam
started
and
with
Dean.
Wincest?
Sam and Dean. Yes, it did. Sam and Dean.
Oh.
Dean Winchester being the first Omega. Sam Winchester being the first Alpha. And we'll get into those terms, just in case anybody isn't familiar. But then someone created AO3 because they were like, we gotta get out of here. It's getting banned on Tumblr, rightfully so. It's incest. And
Wasn't this team the fucking
not only was the Omegaverse born, but so was AO3. We all love her. We all know her.
Applause to AO3.
Thank you. So that's how the Omegaverse started. And then it then became Castiel, he's an angel in Supernatural, and Dean Winchester. They're doing a lot of this on AO3. But yeah, Dean Winchester, first Omega, as he should be.
Yeah. And the plot of the Omegaverse, the nitty-gritty of the Omegaverse, why the Omegaverse, like what it does is it gets men pregnant.
Gets men pregnant.
Biologically.
Also, it kind of like, some people will argue the Omegaverse is rooted in misogyny, which, sure.
Everything is rooted in misogyny,
but
so I
one thing that I'm never gonna not do is defend men. If men want to experience misogyny, that makes the Omegaverse 10 times better. Because yeah, be misogynistic against that little Omega boy. Make him feel pain.
And
that
they do.
women have suffered for years.
All Omegas do feel pain. Every single one.
Every single one.
I've never met a happy Omega.
Except for me. Just, no, actually.
No, take that back.
Yeah, actually.
Not the Omega part, but the happy part.
Yeah.
So speaking of Omega, you might be like, what is that? Now it's
what are these terms we're throwing around? Alphas, Omegas,
we haven't even mentioned
mpreg,
Beta or fucking Enigma yet.
Or Enigma's new though. We'll get to that.
So right now we're gonna give you the basics, the layout for everyone who's ever heard it. There are 3 dynamics. It's like, and every time you open an Omegaverse, there are these diagrams at the very beginning, and it's a triangle. And it talks about the breakdown of dynamics. There are 3 main ones. We have Omega, Alpha, and Beta.
Are you specifically referencing manga?
In what terms?
You said every time you open a...
Oh yeah, that's what I meant. Every time you open a manga,
okay,
there's a diagram, because you have to get into the genetics and the like anatomy of it all, which we'll get there.
Yeah.
So to break it down, we have 3 things. We have Omega, Beta, and Alpha. Let's start Beta. Beta are normal human beings.
Yeah.
Also, these are dynamics, is what they're called. There are like inherent genetic characteristics, traits that you get that therefore have these side effects that you must act on. Instinct.
They are often referenced as a second gender.
Yeah.
It also is rooted in wolf dynamics. So if you're like, oh, Alpha, Beta, Omega, these are all like
leaders of the packs and pack
like
members.
Werewolf or like wolf terms, and it's because yes, that is where they're getting these terms from.
Yeah. So, Beta, that's your normal human. Ain't got nothing wrong with them. Regular,
just a guy.
Bibbidi bobbidi boop, boring.
Yeah, and they are the majority.
Yeah.
In most worlds.
80%, 70%?
Yeah, they are the majority. In most universes. Because one thing about the Omegaverse that we can dive more into later is that it's so broad, it's made up, you can do whatever the fuck you literally want with it, and no one can correct you because it's fake.
We are going to correct you,
but we will correct
you are
a few
all
things,
wrong.
because everybody and their mother is always wrong. We are the only people that are right. We are the Omegaverse speakers, and we speak for the Omegaverse. But anyway, what were we saying? Betas.
I was looking at the percent. I'm going to look up the percentage of betas.
Okay.
I'm going to get this triangle, and I'm going to put it here for reference.
So yeah, there's betas. Regular. In most scenarios, they are the majority of people in the universe, in this Omegaverse. And then there are
70% of the population are betas.
Yes.
And when it comes to them being regular, we're talking like stature, height, personality.
Can't get pregnant, don't have a knot. We'll get into these terms, like more specific.
Just normal people. They're like middle. No one stellar is a beta. Like if you see someone sexy on the street, they're not.
It's just like normal SpongeBob. That's a beta.
NPCs. Betas are NPCs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, I guess we break into the next highest category, which is alpha. So alphas are the big dogs. They make up 20% of the population, and they are the strong, the sexy, the brilliant, the go-getters,
They
the
are
menacing.
the white
They are
cis men of the Omegaverse.
Yeah, but sexy.
Yeah, I'm just putting it in terms that are relatable.
Yeah, they're top dogs.
Yeah, and
they're the ones that run the companies.
Yeah.
Like they're the go-getters, the best athletes.
They're the politicians. They're the
richest, the
people in
wealthiest.
power, the richest, the CEOs. Like they're the big dogs. They're dominant. They
not all alphas are dominant, but
yes, but the trait alpha. If we're talking secondary, genders, alpha is dominant because much like in wolf packs, the alpha runs the pack. In that sense. But yes, not all alphas are dominant. We'll get into that too.
There's so many.
Take a shot.
No, for real. There's so many circle backs, and we'll get into that because the Omegaverse is so.
It's so, like I said,
expansive.
It's so expansive. There's so much to talk about. We're gonna
really
do basic level, beginner, entry level information, and then we'll dive a little bit more.
We'll dive a little bit, and then we might play a couple games.
Oh yeah.
So we'll see. So finally, we've talked about our betas, our 70%, our alphas are 20%. That leaves us with the last 10% of human population, my personal favorites. And those are the Omegas. So Omegas are women. Like, they're not women, they're men, but with the traits of women, like they can get pregnant. Yeah. They're smaller, they're thinner, they're petite, they can't, it depends on which Omegaverse you read, but most of them, they can't get jobs. They can't grow in society. Like they are traditional,
which is
female.
What I was referencing when I said the misogyny of it all. That's where that kind of comes into play.
Yeah,
because they have basically any rights.
They are just tools for reproduction, and there's a lot of abuse in the Omegaverse because it's just these alphas and even betas thinking Omegas are just whores, sluts made for only producing babies. Does that sound familiar, anybody? Crazy, right?
Yeah. And it's very much also a wolf pack dynamic as well. Omegas are the reproduction organ vessels, if you will, whereas the alpha is the top daddy or whatever you want to call them, made for impregnation.
Yeah, what the hell you said? So those are our general 3 dynamics.
Yes.
I think maybe we can
there's also other terms. There's gammas and other words that I don't know because they're Greek. Well, not because they're Greek, but I don't care about them. And then there's something new called the Enigma. It's fairly recent. I would say within the past maybe 3 or so years. And it's an alpha times 7. It can get an alpha pregnant, which alphas can't get pregnant. They don't biologically have the reproduction organs to give birth, but an Enigma is just so powerful. They could.
Yeah. I think I want to talk a little bit more, just a little bit more of the genetics of it all.
Yeah.
And then leaning into perchance the anatomy, because we have to talk about the anatomy of female alphas and male Omegas.
Sure.
So genetics, just shout out to our favorite guest, the Punnett Square. We feel real passionate about the Punnett Square. If you don't know, you get your genetics. You have your dominant genes, you have your recessive genes, you put them in a square, and that's how you get whatever you are. Hair color, blah, 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 blah. Same thing happens with these dynamics. So we have recessive alpha, recessive omega, dominant omega. And those in themselves have their own hierarchy. Because for example, in some Omegas, some of the dominant alpha Omegas are yeah, I'm hot shit, fuck you. And the recessive Omegas are you suck. But then in other ones, it's you kind of want to be recessive because you don't want to be a dominant. So that, for Omegas, it kind of flip-flops, whereas you always want to be a dominant alpha. Because that's your cream of the crop. Because you're thoroughbred alpha, They're the strongest and things like that. And they are more...
And it's kind of also, like, toxic masculinity, if you want to compare it to something in, like, real world sense, where it's, like, men can't cry, you can't do this, you have to be always, like, on go, like, you always have to be the man, which is what the alphas are. Like, if you are more of a soft alpha or, like, a submissive alpha, you're frowned upon.
Yeah.
Like, that's biologically not how you're supposed to be.
Yeah. And keeping on with the more scientific things of the Omegaverse, we have the anatomy, right? So we've got, once again, when you open the mangas, there's like these charts in the very beginning. So the alphas got big wieners, usually. And their big wieners have a special talent. That talent is called nodding. We'll kind of circle a little bit more back to that. But even, so women can be alphas, women can be omegas, women can be betas. The female alphas basically have a wiener. So female alphas can get male omegas and female omegas pregnant. So that's kind of rocking. I rock with that.
That's sick, yeah.
And then the male omegas have a womb inside their belly that is connected to their butt. And that's how they get pregnant.
Yeah.
And then women omegas, you don't really see them too often because the Omegaverse is typically in yaoi. It's in BL, which is what we obviously love to talk about, but they exist.
Yeah, and you might wonder, like, oh, well, how do they give birth? And I think it, once again, so broad, rules change, people, you can make it whatever you want. Most of the time it's by C-section.
Yeah, that's like the general consensus.
But I have seen or read some where they do give birth out of their asshole.
I don't think I've read a single one.
Yeah, I'm talking fix.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In manga, I have never, I honestly do believe, I don't think I've read a single one where they're pooping out that baby.
No. Yeah, in some AO3 fics that I have read, they do give birth out of their butthole.
Rock on, dude.
Yeah.
Rock on.
Yeah. Or like they have like my favorite thing, we like to call it a boy pussy slit. They have 3 things. They have a butthole and then like a retractable
boy pussy
penis in their vaginal area that they can give birth out of and also penetrate people with. It's a whole thing. There's like
boy.
That's my favorite.
Slit.
Yeah, boy pussy slit.
Dick pussy slit.
Yeah.
Also,
dick pussy
another
slit.
term we use a lot.
Yeah, dick pussy slit.
That's what Brew wants.
I would love that. No, I want nothing more in this world than to have a retractable dick, penis, pussy, boy hole thing. Slit. Yeah. Slit. That's a perfect word
want
for
a
it.
detachable wiener. Just because if I was a man, I'd be putting my wiener in things. Don't look at me, slime. Any slime on TikTok, any slime video on TikTok, my wiener's going right in that.
Right, anyway. So, some other things that are tied to the Omegaverse. We have nodding, which is
kind of what I was alluding to when I said that the alpha's wieners have magical powers.
So, nodding is not this made-up Omegaverse thing. That happens in animal species and in the wolf world. What happens is intercourse, right? A male omega. I'll draw a diagram. So this feels like a health lesson.
As it is.
So male alphas will, when trying to impregnate, sometimes they might be in rut, which is when a alpha goes into a version of like when dogs or cats go into heat.
It's masculine though. For example, today I entered my rut.
Yes.
It's a miserable existence.
Yes.
That's why I'm sweating. I don't know if you can see it. I'm repping a smaller shirt today. It's because I'm so hot.
Yeah. So in these breeding cycles, in order to properly breed an omega, an alpha has to insert his penis inside the omega, and once he ejaculates, a swelling lump that is called a knot at the base of his penis will swell up and lock himself inside the omega and can't move it depends. Sometimes I've seen where like
half an hour.
Yeah, sometimes I've seen if like maybe like 5 minutes. Some I've like they've been there for an
Fucking
hour.
7 hours.
It depends. It really depends. But the point is they're knotting the omega into place so that they can fully get all the sperm and then become pregnant.
You ever put your finger in those Chinese traps?
Sure.
That's that.
No, yeah.
But with their wieners.
Yeah. Right.
Well, wiener and whole.
Yeah. And we talked a little bit about rut, right? It's the alpha version of heat. Omegas will go into something similar. They'll go into heat, which everyone should know what that is. I feel like that's just basic biology. Like,
but if you're stupid,
yeah,
and you don't, it's basically a woman's menstrual cycle, but on crack, dude.
Yeah.
You ever seen a cat?
That's what I'm saying.
Their buttholes to this guy trying to get. They're like,
Yeah.
I need.
It's basically a biological response from your body being like, we need to get pregnant, and you just wanna fuck through the neighborhood. Like,
and
you don't
it'll
even care.
So in the Omegaverse, your huts and your reeds. Hello. Your heats and your ruts. Like you're drugged up, you're drunk, you're not there, nobody's home. You become this fucking like demon. You're like, like wiener pulling you up from the sky.
Yeah. And alphas will like typically become super territorial, super aggressive, super like I need to
you
find
never
an
ever want to be near
around an alpha when they're in rut.
It's just so dangerous for anybody.
Yeah, it could because so ruts and heats.
Sorry, we say that like it's fucking real.
It's real to me.
No, I'm saying, dude. I'm surprised Bree can sit next to me.
Why?
Because I'm in my rut.
Oh yeah.
It's not a safe space. What did we literally just say about not being a safe space? It's especially not a safe space.
It's because we're on scent blockers.
Right.
We're on scent and I'm on heat blockers.
Yeah, you got a necklace on. Oh my god, your collar. Go put your collar on.
So in these ruts and heats, they normally last. Once again, it fluctuates. Sometimes I've seen maybe 1 or 2 days. Sometimes I've seen a week. Sometimes I've seen 2 weeks that they last. And all they need, like, it's painful for them to not be having sex.
Yeah.
To not be having any type of anything.
It's
because
the worst
they need
pain in the whole world.
Yeah.
Like an unimaginable suffering.
Yeah, it's like PMS
for
on
both
a thousand.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Rut and heat.
Yeah.
Both of them can last up to, I don't know, however long you want it to, honestly. Yeah.
Usually about like 3 days to a week. Just like a normal menstrual cycle.
Yeah. And then they just fuck like little rabbits.
Little wabbits. Because
Fucking
everywhere.
because they just need that release. And it's their like instinct, or sometimes it's like their inner wolf being like, we have to get pregnant, or we have to get somebody pregnant stat.
And most pregnancies happen when you're in your rut and heat at the same time. When you're coordinated,
that's when it's most
powerful.
That's
when it's most possible, and that's when most of these fucking pregnancies happen. Let's be so for real.
I feel like I've read a lot more when the omega's just in heat.
Well, that
and
too.
The alpha's not.
Yeah, that too. Omegas really aren't getting pregnant unless they're in heat, for the most part.
Yeah.
But, you know, fucking when you're in heat can be really dangerous, like we said, for a lot of reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the reasons why it's really dangerous is because you're losing your inhibitions. You feel the rain on your skin.
You're just a horny sex demon. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And that overtakes you, possesses you. Like, you have no coherent thought other than like pregnant, dick.
But it goes further than being pregnant, because there's something that an alpha can do to an omega to change its life for literally ever, and that's mark them. So what that is at the nape of the omega's neck, as you can see, turn it right here, the omega's neck. The alpha, it's yearning. They got fangs, right? And they yearn to just.
Yeah, because during this rut or heat cycle, both become, like, their animal takes over, their wolf takes over, they become territorial, they become aggressive, they want to mate. They're like, we have to mate, like, we need to mate right now, like, this is my omega, this is my alpha, like,
yeah, like, this is them. But once you bite someone, like, an omega can only be bit once.
Yeah, it depends.
Depending on the thing, like we said, everything.
Okay, we're just, like, baseline level, like, how Omegaverse started, the basic rules. You can go off this line or off this path however you want, but this is typical, basic Omegaverse.
There are some Omegaverses, like, where omegas can have a gland reduction surgery, or they can have, like, gland removal, mark removal surgery, but, like, baseline, omegas can only have one mate Alphas can bite as many fucking people as they want usually.
Yeah.
But like if you're bit by an alpha that you don't want, like you're tied to them for the rest of your life. And then you'll go through withdrawals if you ever try to escape them. So like typically Omegas, and this is where we get into the discrepancies between like half of the Omegaverses and the other half is the collars of it all. Some of them wear collars, and some Omegaverses, they just don't be fucking wearing collars.
Yeah. I feel like I see a lot more no collar than I do collar.
I also see a lot more no collar than I do collar.
Yeah. And also the bite I've seen the bite on the back of the neck, but I also
I've seen
see
it anywhere on the neck.
I see the bite here, here, like anywhere in the neck area.
Typically it's like straight on the back, but yeah, I've seen like if you have I've seen a couple where it's like they have multiple bite them at the same time. Again, special cases. But yeah, it's the collars of it all. So to be safe, to be use protection when you're fucking, Omegas will wear a collar that like is like special lock and key encoded fucking locked, because if they're like la, 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 take me, right, you don't want that. So it's like under lock and key, someone else got the key. None of those two.
I think we should also, since we're talking about this, mention scents and pheromones.
Yeah.
So
it's a huge part
both
of it.
Both alphas and Omegas have scent glands and also pheromones.
Look, you can feel mine. Where is it? Dude, look, feel it. It's right here.
Ooh, yeah.
You see that, isn't it? It's a fucking gland, dude.
Yeah.
It's real to us, like you said. So, alpha, betas, alphas and omegas have scent glands, and they have scents specifically tailored to them. Like, no two bitches are gonna have the same scent. It's like a fingerprint. They can have similar scents in family trees, sometimes genetically.
And they're also called, like, pheromones. And, like, when they go into heat or rut, they could be on scent blockers, or they can be on birth control, or they can be on heat suppressants or rut suppressants, where it will delay or kind of completely take away a rut or a heat, or also block the scent, because when Omegas are just freeballing it, fucking raw dogging their scent, sometimes an alpha will get a whiff of it, and it's like overrides their like normal brain, and is like, oh my, there's an Omega here. So a lot of people, like a lot of Omegas, will be on like scent blockers, right?
We should have worn our teeth today.
Oh yeah. So
I'm gonna go put on my wolf costume real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah. So yeah, and then these pheromones, even if they are on scent blockers, when they start going into heat, their pheromones, their scent will get, or like even rut, their scents will get stronger. And that's how it's typically known that it's like, oh, there's an Omega in heat. You can smell
because
one.
The smell and you can just smell your heat coming.
Yeah.
You get a cold.
Yeah. You get like a headache, you get a
fucking
flu.
And oh my god, I smell.
Yeah. You're like, oh. And then they get weak. They're like,
a lot of passing out.
Another thing kind of indicates that they're going into heat is a little thing called nesting. And what nesting is an Omega will take clothing, blankets, stuffed animals, memorabilia, pillows, jacket, like anything that is tied to a person that they care about. I've seen them take things from friends. Most of the time it's like if they have an alpha, they'll take their alpha's clothes because it'll have their scent on it, and they literally build a nest with all of these things, with the blankets, the pillows, the stuffed animals, and it will all be scented by all of these people that they care about. I've seen like Omegaverses where they have packs, like family packs, and a lot in Haikyuu, like Haikyuu AO3s where they're in packs. And for example, Akashi and Bokudo and Kenma and Kuro. We don't have Kuro up there. He sucks. Like, they were in a pack, and Akashi went into heat, so then Kenma went over and, like, scented him, gave him a scent, gave him a shirt, Kuro gave him something, and then they all, like, he put him in his nest, and it's like a big little circle nest that they lay in, and it's comforting, and the scent sometimes will dull the pain of the heat.
I was one time looking for my sweatshirts. I was like, what the fuck are all my sweatshirts? Came out in here. They were all in Bree's nest. There was like 5 sweatshirts. I was like, what the fuck? these get here?
Yeah.
I was like, for those. Luckily, I have a lot of sweatshirts, so I was like, fine.
And t-shirts.
For now. Yeah, there was like 1 or 2 t-shirts in there too. Just in Bree's nest.
Just in my nest. I like to be comfortable.
It's just crazy.
What can I say? And Omegas will be typically, most of the time, territorial of their nest because it's like their safe space. It's where they feel the most safe. And if they have somebody coming in uninvited, they get a little like scared.
Bree's really territorial.
I'm
very
territorial.
I sat in it the other day and Bree's like, "Why the fuck are you sitting here?" And I was like,
"Yeah." I was like, "Why are you my fucking literal
I needed
nest?"
the charger.
Like if you miss me, you could just literally say that. You don't have to sit in my nest.
I just needed the charger.
Yeah.
It's okay. I was sending it for you.
Yeah.
You know, Omegaverse can be really graphic and really abusive and like a lot of warnings around it, but it also can be quite romantic. Mm-hmm. Something that I really enjoy is a fated pair. So fated pairs it's like basically the red string of fate. Like you'll know your fated pair when you meet it. It's like lightning bolts through your entire body. Sometimes it'll send you into like an instant heat and things like that. But like you'll know. And it's like a soul tie. And then like you have to be with your fated pair. Like even if you're in a relationship with someone else, you're just be like, I'm so sorry. Like this is my person. Like I need to be with them, or else you fucking like literally explode.
Yeah, similar to that. There's also something called imprinting, which, if we're all around the same age here,
where the hell have you been, Luca? Where the literal hell have you been, Luca?
Nicknamed my daughter after the Loch Ness Monster. It's the same. It's literally the same thing. Or you can imprint on somebody, and sometimes it's not reciprocated. Sometimes it is. Also, I don't really see a lot of imprinting, but it's there. That is a thing that I have seen. One last thing we're going to talk about, I guess, of just basic information about the Omegaverse before we like go on to different verses. There's this thing called slick that we...
The slick is pretty sick. Am I right?
It's this thing because, you know, men don't have typically... non-cis? No. Cis men. Cis men.
Can't get wet. Especially in their... Actually, nobody can get wet in their butthole.
Nobody can get wet in their butthole.
Can you get wet in you're an Omega, so you can.
I can. So, typically, cis men don't usually have a hole to get self-lubricated, right? So when we're thinking about two men fucking, instead of lube, there's this thing that Omegas produce called slick. And it's the equivalent of getting wet. It just makes it easier. I might even say it's more than just getting wet. It's getting drenched. You're getting soaked. It soaks through clothing. Like, just wet.
It's like, you know when a woman's pregnant and her water breaks?
Yeah.
It's like that, but out of their buttholes.
Yeah, out of their buttholes. And Omegas do that to make the insertion easier. Yeah. Because they don't have that self-lubricating.
And there's it depends on what kind of Omegaverse you're reading. There's two things. Like, usually typically happens when they're in heat. Mm-hmm. But there are some where even if they just get aroused, they can get slick.
Yeah, I would say most of the ones that I read are like anytime an Omega gets like aroused, bricked, hashtag, they slick up.
Yeah, but there's also some where it only happens during heat. So they still have to lube up.
Yeah.
But the majority is definitely like anytime you're bricked, you get slicked. Amen.
Right. Now,
we mentioned that there are some things that are not as common.
In the Omegaverse, I would also call it an umbrella term.
Yeah.
Because it's just so broad. And there are different branches of the Omegaverse that, like, people have created their own worlds. Yeah. Some of them being, like...
There are 3 that there are 2 that I like.
Yeah.
And the third one I think is really funny. So we're going to just briefly talk about 3. Mm-hmm. We are going to talk about the Dom subverse, which is my favorite of the 3. Then we're going to talk about the Esper Guide verse. And then I'm going to talk about the Cake verse.
Right.
So let's talk with Dom sub. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's another thing we have to get into. We could do that later.
Okay.
The difference between like the BDSM of it all and the dynamics of the Omegas and the Alphas and stuff. We'll do that before we play our game.
Okay.
Anyway, so the Dom subverse is we have same thing with genetics. It's the exact same thing as Omegaverse, whereas instead of alphas and omegas, we have doms and subs.
So again, secondary gender.
Yeah. And then we have beta, like normal people,
Yeah.
betas. So doms are like they give commands. And just like it could be any phrase like sit down, come here, kneel, beg, like crawl, present. And if you're a normal person, it's not going to faze you. You're going to be like, what the fuck? But if you're a sub, no matter where you are, what you're doing, who's making the command, it's going to hit. Like, we could be at the store. Bree and I could be separate and like, I don't know Bree. Bree don't know me. We're in the same aisle. And, like, let's say my friend is right behind Bree. And I'm like, oh, come here. Bree's be like, zzz, zzz,
Yeah. Yeah.
and gonna follow the command.
That also only really happens if they put the command behind their voice.
It can happen accidentally, and it happens accidentally, I think
Yeah,
a decent
but
amount.
most of the time, they, like, sometimes they'll just say sit down and they don't have that command. And other times they'll be like, sit down. And they'll put that emphasis on sit down, too. And obviously, yes, sometimes, most of the time, it does happen
A
accidentally.
lot of the times, accidents happen. It's like there could be a couple out in public giving a command to another, and then someone else will overhear it.
Mm-hmm.
That happens, too. But yeah, the dom-sub verses, it's the same thing. There's
Yeah,
like
but they have to
pairs,
have...
There's dom-subs, you have to match. And yeah, the
They have
intonation
to
in the
have
voice.
that, yeah.
There's also this thing called the glare. It's a trait that the dom has, and it's like dom versus dom, who can out-dom the other. Like, if something's happening to their sub, they're gonna fucking look them down, and it can shake another dom, like, to their knees. Sometimes it's a powerful. But another thing that's really important in the dom sub verses is just, like, normal BDSM play. So they have, like they need to have these play sessions. That's their rut and their heat and stuff like that. And they have, like, safe words. There's different levels, and it's pretty neat. I like it a lot. Not a lot out there.
Not a lot of good ones.
Just not a lot generally, but yes, also not a lot of good ones.
Not a lot of good
But
ones.
there are some that are, like, there's more. Because these are, like, Omegaverse is pretty new still in the world of all literature.
Omegaverse?
Came out, like, 2010 or whatever.
Yeah. Dude,
Yeah, but all literature. I'm talking all of literature.
That was 26 years ago.
But, like, I did the Dom subverses, like, it's pushing, like, 5 years old. Like, it's not super old.
Yeah.
And then the Esper guide verse is similarly aged to...
Stupid.
I like it. Whatever. So our
It's
alpha...
definitely not my favorite.
Our alpha and our omega in the guide verse is we have Espers are the alphas, and guides are the omegas. And also betas. Guides could be pushing betas, it depends, but let's call them omegas for now. Espers have superpowers. And they can use up their superpower and build up so much energy in their body that they could rampage or explode and literally kill themselves and everyone around them. They need their omega, their guide, to be like, hold my hand. Let me, like, take some of your do-do-do-do-do and put it into my body. Mm-hmm. And obviously, the more physical contact you have, the quicker you can, like, calm down your...
The deeper the connection.
Esper. Yeah, and same thing with, like, you can have your imprinting, your mating, your fated pairs, stuff like that within your guide verse as well.
Yeah. One thing, though, like, in almost all three of these, is, like, the mating. If someone does mate and they get they get the bite mark on their neck, or they get mated, or what's the word I'm looking for? Marked.
Yeah.
If they get marked, right? Sometimes, more specifically in the guide verse, if the alpha or omega dies, the other one that was, like, in that fated mating will probably die, too.
Yeah. It's like swans.
Yeah. Like, because that connection, once you mark someone and you have that mated bond, it is just so intense that sometimes when one of them dies, the other one gets, like, really sick, like, a disease, or sometimes death. Like, I read a guide verse where the guide died because Esper because the Esper died in, like, at his job, which their job is to fight off otherworldly creatures because they have superpowers, and he died in, like, one of his fights, and so did his guide.
You know, I'm looking it up.
Mm-hmm.
About our next verse, the one that you don't know about. Did you look it up?
I know what it is. I've heard about it.
They suck the fun out of everything.
Yeah.
God forbid I want to have a fun fact that they don't know much about. But our next one that we're briefly going to talk about, the Cakeverse, I'm thinking this is the last, 2 years. 2016. But it's been more popular in the last year. So Cakeverse is our last kind of, extension, umbrella that we're going to talk about today. And it's just really funny. Instead of alphas, betas, and omegas, we have cakes, forks, and normals. So, cakes are the omegas. They taste really good. They taste really sweet. And forks are I need to fucking eat this cake. And how do they do that? By licking their skin or drinking their fluids and shit like that. So
it's a cannibalism verse, is what it is.
Yeah. But it's been picking up some heat lately. Yeah. It's been picking up some popularity. I read,
the forks will eat the cake. They will eat and chew on the cake. It's cannibalism.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of, literally chewing on them. It's more of, I'm gonna guzzle your fluids kind of thing.
Yeah.
And, eat you out.
I saw a video.
Oh, that's nice. In my
how it started was literally cannibalism.
Yeah, in my reading experience, I've only come across naturally, casually, maybe 3 or 4. But it's not usually lately that serious, but it builds over time. It's not if you're in heat, I'm in heat, I'm gonna pounce on you. It's you get a...
Also, food doesn't taste good to the fork.
Yeah. Yeah, so I just think it's a fun one. It's I'm looking here, I got my notes pulled up. We've got the pistol verse, we got the tattoo verse, the name verse. It really, really, truly does.
There's also animal verses where they're half seas. They're half...
Beastmen?
Yeah, they're half animal, half human. There's that kind of verse. There's the aquatic verse. Not really a thing, but it's I haven't read any. But they can be fish people, mermaids. Anything could technically be the Omegaverse. Anything.
Omegaverse is such a wonderful thing.
I love the Omegaverse.
So much creativity. So cool.
Yeah.
Want to talk about our favorite parts?
Sure.
Least favorite parts?
Yeah. I would say some of my favorite parts are, obviously, mpreg. I've mentioned this before. I'll mention it again. Mpreg is everything that I've ever asked for. I wish it was real. I wish I could get men pregnant. I wish men could give birth.
One day.
Also, I really like the scenting because I think that's just a romantic thing. Alphas or omegas, they'll rub on their scent glands, how dogs or cats will rub their faces on each other and rub their in their necks and nuzzle. I think that's so cute, and they're scenting to make them feel better if they're having a bad day.
Claim them.
To claim them.
Sometimes
to
they'll be
mark
scenting
them.
you and you don't even know.
And sometimes they'll accidentally scent you.
Yeah,
they're not even doing it on purpose. They just love you so much that they're just scenting you.
I also like how the scents change. Their hues, I guess. I don't have the right word for this in scent terms. But, their flavors can ever so slightly change depending on emotion.
Yeah.
I'm reading one right now. It's one of my fucking favorites right now, and I can't wait for it to just finish so I could put it in my top 5 completed. It's, Boundary of a Fragrance. And right now, the arc that we're in is, the scent... the Omega is, finally realized they're in love with the Alpha. And they just keep emitting violent, uncontrollable love scents, and it keeps knocking the Alpha out. He keeps passing out and having to be hospitalized.
It's just chill. It's one of the cuter things that I like about it. I also like when they purr. I love that shit.
Yeah.
I love when they start purring. They get up. And then I really like nesting. I think that's so cute. You're just taking all your you're stealing all your loved ones' belongings because you just want to be comfy and you want them around you to make you feel safe and secure. That's so cute. And I love a nest. I nest. I'm not even kidding. I nest. My bed is a nest.
Yeah.
Not on purpose. It's just how I've always slept. I love being comfy in a little nest.
I like Omegaverse fated pairs. I don't like fated pairs in other things, but I like it in the Omegaverse.
Regular humans?
Yeah, regular, fated, soulmatey, blah, 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 blah. It's whatever. Mm-hmm. But I like it in the Omegaverse. Also, a big fan of Slick.
I love Slick. Slick
like,
is
what a fun thing. What a fun thing.
I also love the idea of nodding. That's not one of my favorites, but I really like that.
I like how cute all the Omegas look. Mm. I love a little tiny guy that I want to put in my pocket, and that's 99% of what Omegas look like. But, you know what I do love? I love, like, a big beefy Omega occasionally, and, like, a tiny little alpha.
That's one of the ones I was reading. I don't remember the name of it, but it was, like, they were kids. They were friends to lovers.
Oh, and is it ongoing?
Well, I think so.
There's one that I'm reading now that I'm not too fond of.
Yeah, they were, like, growing up, he was like, oh, you're going to be an alpha. You're going to be an alpha. Everyone's like, we're a family of alphas. You're going to be an alpha. Because once you get, we didn't mention, once you get to a certain age, that's when you are, like, you confirm your second gender. Like, it's like hitting 13, puberty.
10,
yeah, it's literally hitting puberty. And then you're like, oh, you're an alpha. Like, you go to the doctors. The doctor is like, you're an alpha. And you're an Omega. You're a beta.
Sometimes it can change, like, in your 30s and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
You might get a second wind.
You can also, there's something called bitching where, I don't like that term. I'll just say that.
You sound a little passionate about it.
Because I like the concept. So it's where an alpha can turn another alpha into an Omega by just constantly, like, nodding them, like, giving them, coming inside them, like, making them swallow their cum. Like, they get, eventually, if they guzzle enough cum, they turn into an Omega. I think that's, yeah. I eat that
also,
up.
Like, alphas can turn betas into Omegas, too.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. What was I saying?
I don't know. Actually, Mai was saying something. I don't remember what I was saying. Oh, I like when the... Oh, you were talking about the...
Oh, yeah. Kids. They were like, you're going to be an alpha. We're a family of alphas. And he turned out to be an Omega. And he was always protecting his friend. He's like, that's why you're going to be a great alpha. You're so protective. And then he's like, yeah, and I'm going to be an Omega. And then they flipped. And
he's mad about
the Omega, he's mad about it.
Is he a boxer? Is he a wrestler?
I don't think so.
There's a couple that are like that. Yeah. I'm reading one that's exactly like that. I don't really like it right now.
There's I picked it up a while ago. And the Omega is beefy, and he's obsessed with him. He's in love with him.
I'm reading one right now.
The alpha.
I'm reading one right now.
Sorry, the alpha. The Omega is beefy because he thought he was going to be an alpha, but he's an Omega. And he's a beefy Omega, and then the alpha's obsessed with him. He's, like, in love with him. He's like, you promised that we were going to get married when we were children. Yeah.
I'm reading one right now. It's a Dom subverse, but it's, like, bottom Dom, top sub.
You can also, in the sub Dom verse, flip, too.
Yeah, you can be a switch.
Yeah. A switch, but also a Dom can become a sub.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Yeah, same thing. I'm trying to think of other things about the Omegaverse.
Those are all
I just feel like they're really good stories a lot of the time.
Yeah, those are my absolute favorite parts. Scenting, nesting, and mpreg.
Yeah, I like when they have kids. Because sometimes we see that they're kids, you know? I like when the kids are cute. I really like that.
I like that they call them pups.
Yeah, I like, when they give them names, too, like when they're in the belly. Mm-hmm. That's, like, probably a cultural thing. I'm almost certain it's a cultural thing. But, like, I still like it. There's something else that I really like. I like it. I just like the Omegaverse. It's just so fun. It's so fun, so broad.
Yeah.
Least favorite parts?
Oh, I have two. Mm-hmm. Both of these might be controversial, but they shouldn't. Betas, pointless. I think I am not a big fan of betas because I'm reading an Omegaverse, and you're telling me a basic motherfucker is in here? If I wanted to read a romance or anything, a book, a novel about a basic man, I'd pick up a regular world book. I'm not picking up an Omegaverse to read about a regular Joe Schmo. Stupid. Also, straight Omegaverses.
Yeah, that's whack.
Should not exist. Unless it's an alpha woman and a male Omega. Yeah. Because other than that, once again, it's just playing into misogynistic abuse. Because if it's an alpha man and an Omega woman, there's no difference than a regular world. That's just how it is every day for women.
Yeah.
But if you flip it, that's the only straight Omegaverse I'll accept.
Also, one thing that I find super interesting about, like, just the Omegaverse, this is not, like, something that's not my least favorite, but something that within the past maybe, like, 2 years, so, like, being gay, being a lesbian, being bisexual has nothing to do with your first gender, which is, like, male, female. It has everything to do with your second gender.
Yeah.
So, like, you're gay if you're an Omega and an Omega, right? Like, if you're an Omega attracted to other Megas, you're gay. If you're an Alpha attracted to other Alphas, you're gay. But if you like Omegas and Alphas, you're bisexual. It has nothing to do, like, if you're a male Alpha or a male Omega. It's the secondary gender that makes you gay.
Yeah.
I think that's funny.
My least favorite part about the Omegaverse is, like, all the abuse. There's a lot of abuse in the Omegaverse.
Yeah.
And, yeah, a lot of non-consensual things go on in the Omegaverse, which I find a little disheartening sometimes. But certainly I have other least favorite things, but I can't think of any, so that's okay.
Right.
Chat, let me know what I missed. Let me know your least favorite parts of the Omegaverse.
Yeah. Yeah, comment down below your faves and your not faves, and if you've ever read the Omegaverse, and maybe what some of your favorite pieces of artwork from the Omegaverse are. Whether it's AO3, whether it's manga, whether it's a novel.
Yeah, maybe we'll
TV show.
Don't. If anyone fucking says Pit Babe, you're wrong and stupid and I hate you.
I hate you. And you should die in hell.
But maybe we could, in the description, put, like, our recommendations. Like, one each. Maybe, we'll see.
No
promises. It's hard work, guys.
What do you want to talk about next? We could talk about the misconceptions in the Omegaverse.
Yeah, I kind of touched on this a little bit earlier when I was explaining the Dom subverse.
Mm-hmm.
People really misinterpret the characteristics of Alpha, Beta, Sub, and Dom. Like, you...
Alpha, Omega?
Yeah. Alpha, Omega, Sub, and Dom. Like, you don't... Like, it's not exclusive.
Or not only just that, but it's like Alpha, Dom, top. Or Omega, sub, bottom. And those are not... Standard. Those three... Like, those are not synonymous with each other. Like, you can be an Alpha and a bottom, but you can be a Dom. Like, you can be an Alpha, bottom, Dom. Oh. You can be an Omega, bottom, sub, but you can also be an Omega, bottom, Dom.
Yeah.
Like, those are not
people
synonymous.
Really
and people be like, if you're an Alpha, you're a Dom and you're a top, which is just incorrect.
It's just so close-minded.
Yeah. It's just like, literally open up your gay eye and the world will brighten.
Your oyster, dudes.
Your knowledge, your joy will expand.
Hear me out. Como se dice the word switch? Verse and switch, people forget that's a thing too.
Yeah, but those are also different.
I know, but like we can add that into the list of like all of the. These are all things that you could
because a switch is specific to a Dom and a sub. Mm-hmm. A verse is specific to a Dom and a sub, whereas a switch is regular. It has nothing to do with being a Dom or a sub. Switch is like, if you're not in the kink world of it all, you can be a switch. Verse is only sub or Dom.
Yeah, but you could take those two words and also throw them into the mix.
Right, for sure.
Of that combination.
Yeah. It's not an exclusive thing that, and people
like
are like,
you could be an alpha
and
bottom verse.
Yeah, sure, everyone has their preferences.
Yeah.
But when you're like, no, like tops have to be alphas and alphas have to be doms. Yeah. No, that's boring, dude. Expand your horizon. Loosen up. Unclench. Man, don't get me started. Because I'll get started.
I think we should talk about some things. I think this is what we should do, our next 3 things. Mm-hmm. We should talk about what we want more of. Mm. Then we should do the scent game. Just a couple.
Okay.
And then we should do our hottest takes of, like, who's who, who's what.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, what we want to see more of, I know Bree just said a lot about betas, right? Hear me out, guys. You know what I want to see that I've never seen before, and I only want to see it once? I want to see 2 betas in the Omegaverse. Like, can you imagine you're going to read an Omegaverse and your 2 main characters are betas?
That's just a regular story.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, because, like,
there's nothing special about them.
Yes, but they're living in a special world. the world is different. So it's not a normal. You could call it like a fantasy maybe, but like the world itself is different. So, and because we have a lot of stories about betas, like another thing I'd like to see more of is beta and omega. You really don't see that a lot.
I see it a lot.
I don't see it a lot.
It's because you don't read AO3.
Right, and so in my manga world, you don't really see that a lot.
Yeah.
I would like to see more of that.
It's a lot of fucking betas in AO3.
Yeah,
Shit's annoying.
Not in Omega, in manga world. There's not a lot of super betas. And if they're a beta, they're gonna turn into an Omega. Or they're gonna turn into Alpha. That's just how it is.
Boring.
I think it'd be funny to see 2 betas in the world of the Omegaverse, because everyone around them is so spectacular with things going on. And
well, when you first brought this up, you said an Omegaverse where it's all just betas.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
No, because that's real life.
That's what I was saying. You said where it's just betas.
No. Yeah, the story, the 2 main characters are just betas. I was talking about specifically the 2 main characters. In the world of the Omegaverse, the 2 main characters are betas. I'd like to see it once because I think it'd be funny. Because it's like you have all these spectacular people around you and you're just fucking boring losers. But like you can have your own struggles as a boring loser too. But I only want to see one. Is what I want. And then I want more beta, omega. I want more of that. And then another thing that I want, me personally, is I want my own representation. I never see it. You see all of these omegas who want to be alphas. It's like that one you were just talking about. Like he was born and bred to be an alpha, but he was an omega. We've seen it. It's tired. I want to see an alpha who yearns to be an omega. I want that.
I just mentioned that.
Bad.
It's called bitching.
No, but when it's bitching, they don't want it.
Yes, it is.
Usually, not a lot of the time.
Every single one that I've read, it's because the alpha was yearning. Like iWowie one that I just read.
In your AO3, sure, but in manga, no. It's always there. It's like against their will. They never.
I count manga, but it's just like it's not real. I'm saying
we're drawing a line.
We
live 2 different experiences.
It's real.
And Brie refuses to recognize my life experience.
That's a lie.
So, in my life experience of manga,
that's a lie.
When it's the bitching of it all, it's usually against their will. And it's usually like big top macho alphas who are with other alphas that are just a bigger, topper, more macho alpha of them. And they turn into an omega against their will. That's how it is usually. I want someone, like there's this BDSM one called Ong Ong, and it's this big motherfucker, huge, yearns to be a sub, and then finds a little tiny little master, right? I want that in the Omegaverse.
All I'm saying is
you could get that.
All I'm saying is you could get that if you read AO3.
And I could, and I won't, but I prefer to read manga. I like the pretty colors in the pictures. I like it. Sue me! Sue me!
I'm not coming at you for reading manga. I'm saying that you could have it if you read AO3, because it's on AO3.
But I want it in my preferred medium. That's what I want. What do you want? Nothing, because you have everything. Over there in AO3. I'm kidding. What do you want?
I want more alpha. I don't get that a lot, and I want that, even in AO3. I want 2 alphas fighting for dominance. I eat that shit up every time, and it's not a lot of times, but when I do get it, I want it. Or an omega. I'm sick of the alpha-omega dynamic. I want separate. Give me omega, give me alpha. I prefer alpha.
You know what's a really good example of that in my mind? The first thing I can think of, briefly, is Bad Buddy. I think Bad Buddy is like the Thai BL. It's not an Omegaverse. But if it were an Omegaverse...
Bad Buddy,
not Bad Bunny.
I was like, what about him?
No. Bad Buddy.
Mm-hmm.
I think, at least for the most part, like in the good chunk of it, that's a really good alpha dynamic. But it's not an Omegaverse.
Yeah, because they're like enemies, or rivals.
Yeah.
And they'd be fighting.
They're frenemies, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they like be like literally when they're making out, they just be throwing each other like both trying to top at the same time. Like I think Bad Buddy is a really
fight.
Good
I really do.
Of alpha.
I really love a fight. Or like I really love in anything, even outside the Omegaverse, I love when the bottom wants to top. I eat that shit up. So if an Omega is the top and only specifically wants the top, I need more of that. I want more of that.
I agree.
That's my fave. Or an alpha that wants to bottom.
Yeah.
But no, Omega that wants to top.
Yeah, I want more Omega that wants to top.
Yeah, I eat that shit up.
I think Omega should rule the world. I love Omegas. Anything else you want?
No, those are it.
No. Brie has this really incredible talent. Really incredible. Where you could pick a person and they could tell you what their pheromones smell like.
Yeah, I'm a genius.
Yeah.
Not
For example,
not to toot my own foot.
Tell the world what our pheromones.
Yeah. So for me, my Omega scent is like an earthy.
Oh, by the way,
scent.
if you haven't guessed, guess what our dynamics are?
Oh, I just said it.
We've been saying it this entire episode.
Yeah. My Omega scent is like an earthy coffee scent, but on the sweeter end. Typically, Omegas are sweeter, like have sweeter scents, and Alphas have more like musky, manly scents, which that's something if I want to go back to disliking, I'm not a fan of that. I don't think Omegas should be inherently sweet, and I don't think Alphas should be inherently musk. I think it's okay to swap.
Yeah.
I think like
it's
it doesn't
diverse, right?
Yeah. Like let's be serious here.
Same like 3 scents, like milky.
Yeah. That's
milky,
it. Like,
Omega.
I saw someone was like, "What if like an Alpha just stank? Like what if an Alpha just smelled like sewage?"
They do have those.
And like what if like
it's
an
usually
Omega,
the bad guys.
Omega was just garbage. Like it was just straight up like really bad garbage. Like
it's like skunk, but like no one likes skunk. But there's that one person that's like.
Yeah, and they only like each
behind
other. I read a like Twitter.
Yeah, I've seen like 1 or 2 of those.
A Twitter thing about it. But Tori's is, I forget what I said. It's, oh, yeah. It's like, I should have looked it up. It's like that crisp, like burnt apple, like red hot, like
chai.
like a spiced apple. It's usually around like fall time.
Apple cider adjacent.
Yeah. Or like a red hot.
Apple cider.
Like a red hot.
Red hot's too hot, I think.
Yeah, it's too hot. It's
too
red hot. It's red hot adjacent. More appley, but the cinnamon of it all in the apple. I should have looked it up.
In a guitar.
Yeah. But if a guitar smelled like that.
Like the wood of a guitar.
Yeah, like if the wood of a guitar smelled like that. That's what Tori would smell like.
Yeah. So now we're gonna play a game. I'm gonna give you 3 people, and I would like you to tell me what their dynamic is.
Okay.
And what their scent is. Mm-hmm. Let's start off first with Dionysus. This one's easy, I think.
Oh. Well, obviously he would just smell like a grapevine.
Yeah.
Because he created it.
Yeah.
But
what do you think his dynamic is?
What do you mean?
Alpha, Beta, Omega.
He would have to be like Enigma. Yeah. Like if we're like, I don't want it.
Only one person in this world is an Enigma.
And it's Dionysus. Because he's
it's Hudson Williams.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, no. Dionysus would have to be all 3 of them. Because, like, he's just the creator of it all. Like, he's made everything gay.
Yeah.
He's made everything inherently sexual. Like, anything that is in the realm of things like that. That's it.
How about our next person? You could pick Achilles or Patroclus. I was thinking Achilles.
Okay. Achilles.
Well, dynamic is rather easy.
It's debated.
True, you're right.
It's debated.
You're right.
It's debated by Homer himself.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, actually, no. Homer, I think, did say that Achilles is the bottom.
Yeah, but what did we say about
I know. I'm saying, but he said he's the bottom, and Patroclus is the top. Because people debate it all the time, which is a crazy thing to debate when people are teaching it as a brotherly book. Why are we debating top and bottom dynamics if it's just friendship, bromance? Anyway,
but that's not his dynamic. What's his dynamic?
Yeah.
I think there's one obvious answer.
I mean, I think he would have to be an alpha.
He's an alpha.
I don't want him to be an alpha.
He can be a bottom, but that's an alpha.
Yeah.
There's no way he's not.
Yeah. It's just, like, the way that I view, like, alphas or omegas or whatever, like, I understand the power dynamic of an alpha or an omega, but that's kind of in the similar realm of things by saying that an alpha is inherently dominant or has to be the top. It's kind of like well, why does the alpha have to be the guy in charge? Like, why does the alpha have to be the strongest and, like, the manliest? Like, why can't he just be dainty? Why can't he be weak?
Yeah, very valid questions. I want to talk about that more when we play our second game. Mm-hmm. But what would his scent be?
Let's see.
In blood and murder and depression.
No. Let's see. He would smell like something golden. Like
K-pop demon hunters.
Like maybe the way that like gold metal smells. Mm-hmm. I think that would be his.
Yeah.
His scent.
Yeah. All right. Last one. I think you can see him. I don't think the glare should affect him. But I want to know your thoughts on Mr. Reki.
On Reki.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I think Reki... He smells like... You know when you can smell burnt rubber?
Mm-hmm.
But, like, if it smelled like bubble gum.
Yeah.
Like a burnt bubble gum.
Yeah.
Like bubblegum rubber.
Yeah.
That's what Reki would smell like.
What do you think his dynamic is?
He's an Omega, I think.
I don't know about that.
I think Long is an Alpha.
Yeah, well, obviously Long is an Alpha. I can agree with that.
Or Reki's a Beta.
I think Reki could either be...
But if he's a Beta, he doesn't have a scent.
You know what I think Reki would be? A recessive Alpha. If not a Beta. My first initial gut instinct is Beta. But I could buy recessive Alpha. Because even in the world of skateboarding, he's not bad. Like, he's not bad. He's
just basic.
I think he's better than basic. He sees himself as basic. But he took on Adam. Normal people can't do that.
No.
Betas can't do that.
In the realm of skateboarding, his skill level is intermediate.
I think it might be slightly advanced intermediate.
What makes him a good skater is his knowledge. Like, how the board works, making boards fit to certain people's dynamics, like how he made Longa's board, that's crazy. How he made the wheels for raining, like for when it rains, that's insane. Like, his brain is what makes him a good skater. His skill level of skating, he's intermediate at best. Like, he's an average Joe at skating. But what makes him stand out more than that is, like, and the only reason why he could even stand up to Adam is because he was smart enough to be like, it's gonna rain. I'm gonna use these wheels. That is, like, I'm gonna drift or whatever, and I'm not gonna skid because it's like a tire. And that's what makes him good.
Yeah, my initial gut instinct is Beta. However, if I had to pick a dynamic in which we could smell him, that's recessive Alpha.
In which we could smell him. Right.
All right, leading us to our next and final game. So our last and final game for today's episode is basically a continuation of what we were doing before, which we're going to pick a person and assign them a dynamic. Now, there are two people that we want to talk about. Should we start with them or should we save them for last?
I think we maybe end them.
Okay. So, who would you like to start with?
I don't know.
Let's look on the wall. Bachira?
I was just... I guess Bachira.
Yeah. Alright, what do we think Bachira is?
Not an Omega. Not an Omega. I don't know if he's inherently an Alpha. But he's also not a Beta.
That's an enigma.
Okay. No, he's just psychotic.
I know what I want him to be.
Okay.
I would love... So here's the difference between me. Some characters, I could give them their dynamic based on what I want them to be and what I believe, like, what I think would be really fun. Other characters, like our last character, I cannot do that because I just know what they are, you know? Based off of the established rules and the baseline of how things are. That's usually how I go off of things. I agree there are exceptions, and I think exceptions are fun, but if in the general game of what is your dynamic, I'm going based off of the baseline. However, I'm going to have fun with Bachira because I would love for Bachira to be an Omega. I think it would be so cool because you really rarely ever see a cracked out lunatic fucking Omega. And I would love Bachira. Bachira's an Omega. his fucking demon, and alpha. What do you think?
What was the last thing you said? I heard everything you said. Bachata being something is something alpha.
Yeah, I said Bachata's an omega. His demon, alpha.
Oh, yeah. Hear me out. Opposite. His demon, omega. No.
Yeah, I think I would really love for him to be an omega. An omega that just does... He is giving omega in the sense that there's this manga called Megami to Tsugumi, and Megami is the... Omega, but he literally punches through his heat. Like, he's raw dogging that shit. He's like, I'm just gonna punch my way through my heat. Whereas I think Bachata would just fucking lunatic his way through his heat.
Yeah.
He's like, nothing's stopping me.
Yeah. I think I like that. Like, he's just a psychotic Omega.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isagi's not his alpha.
No, I don't buy that even a little bit. Like, I don't buy that ship even a little bit. I know people are out there fighting for it, but I don't buy it.
I'm not fighting... I'll fight for maybe a ship.
In Blue Lock?
Yeah.
I have 2.
Yeah.
I have 2 that I'm like, I fuck with those.
Yeah. Yeah. What about calling all the way back to our very, 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 very first episode, Nishinoya?
That's an alpha.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's be so fucking for real.
He's too cool to be an alpha. Or to be anything else.
That's just an alpha. Yeah. We got Bokuto and Akashi.
I think, well, obviously Bokuto's an alpha.
Right.
I've
read a lot of stories where Bokuto is a beta and Akashi is an omega. Akashi is almost... I've never read any other, or not that I can think of, where Akashi is anything but an omega.
I just said that I think Akashi's in a beta, but then I remembered how beautiful he is.
Yeah, I know.
Therefore, he's an omega.
A beta could never be that
I
gorgeous.
really do genuinely forget how beautiful Akashi is.
Yeah.
Because I spend my time looking at others in the Haikyuu world.
I also find the dynamic, though, I find the reverse dynamic, like Akashi being the alpha and Bokuto being the omega, because Akashi is in charge of Bokuto. Other than in the bedroom, Akashi's the only person who can get that man in check. He's like, oh, you're freaking out right now? What do you mean? Less people in this auditorium means they're all looking at you. You don't need the big audience, because in that other gym, there's like 5 games going on at once. We have 1 game. And they're all looking at you. And he's like, you're right. Like, in any other time, he's crying under the table. Who's there to save him? Akashi.
I think his omega could do that, though. It's like the omega... You ever seen the TikTok where it's like, hold me back, like, you're the only one that could stop me, and it's like the tiny little, like, It's that. It's like, no one can hold me back but my omega.
Yeah. I just think that reverse dynamic is fun.
I do really like the idea of Bokuto being a beta. That's funny as fuck.
Yeah. I've read a few where he's a beta, and I was like, I'm not reading this. If it says one of them is a beta, I'm not kidding. I'm 9 times out of 10 don't read it. Unless, the subscription... What is it? Subscription?
The tags?
No. The description. The description is interesting. If it's, one of them is a beta, most of the time, I'm not reading it. It's just so boring. I don't give a fuck.
Another character, Choso? This is hard.
Real quiet.
I think Choso could be one of 2 things, obviously. Well, maybe not obviously. I'm torn between alpha and beta, but I think I'm leaning beta.
I think his blood bending is too cool to be a beta.
I was also thinking because he has, really strong family ties.
He might be an alpha.
Recessive alpha.
Yeah, but just this big of an alpha.
You know who I believe is probably a recessive omega? Miyano. Miyano. Sasaki Miyano.
Oh.
Recessive omega. If not a beta.
I can see that. Yeah.
I could fuck with the recessive Omega, and then he gets like more of his Omega once he gets like closer to Sasaki, and
Yeah. Yeah.
Or like Beta turned Omega. Like how he was Fujo turned gay.
Right. No, yeah.
Let's do maybe one more character, and then our big discussion.
Mashal.
That's an alpha. That's an enigma. Mash is a fucking enigma.
He's all three of them, dude.
Yeah, dude.
It's
fucking Dionysus and Mash standing right next to each other. I had someone in mind. You think Diddle's a beta?
Yeah. Yes.
I think she's an alpha.
Well, no.
No.
I think she's a beta that wants to be an alpha.
That would make sense.
Yeah, I don't, but that's a beta. That's just a bitch. Because you put her You're right. In anywhere.
She's a coward.
The biggest puss I've ever seen. Like,
literally.
Will run away from literally anything. She hissed at me today because I jumped. Especially recently, too, with how skittish she is. Yeah. How skittish she's gotten in general, like, this past, since moving here. No. That's a beta. That's a beta who cosplays as an alpha. She wants you to think that she's an alpha. And you can't smell her, you can't do anything, like, and they're like, nah, I just don't have a scent. Yeah, or I'm just, my scent blockers are so strong. I'm an alpha, though. I've read something like that, where they lied about their secondary gender.
Yeah, people be doing that. Yeah. A lot of Omegas be lying, saying that they're betas, and then they go into a heat, and it's a whole thing.
Yeah, to protect themselves. I read one like that, where they were in a sport, and the Omega lied. The Omega was like, no, I don't think betas existed in this world. He was like, no, I'm an alpha. And he was like, oh, okay. And then he ended up going into heat, which he was confused about, but it was because he didn't take a break from his heat suppressants. And
because if you take too many too regularly, you build up a tolerance.
Yeah. He went like 11 months. He was supposed to, after 6 months, take a break. He didn't. And he went into like a heat times 70 because he is like making up for all of those lost heats that he had.
I have 3 before we do our big one. I think, throwing back to, once again, our very first episode, Neil, Andrew, Kevin. From the All for the Game series.
That's what I thought you were going to talk about.
No. I think Neil's an Omega desperately, violently trying to be a beta.
I was thinking that.
Yeah.
I think Neil... Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm eating that up in my mind. Because I think, here's the conclusions I've come to. Neil is an Omega, desperately trying to be a beta. Andrew's an Omega. Kevin's an alpha. Then we get.
You think Andrew's an Omega?
I do.
I don't think so.
I really do.
I think that's an alpha. And I also think Kevin's an alpha.
Well, Kevin's an alpha too.
Yeah. I think Andrew's an alpha. I think because he's on drugs. I think he's like, his secondary, like, gender basically it's basically suppressed completely because he's just on so many drugs he can't have, like, it's like blocked. But I think it's an alpha. So he's not like, he doesn't have like the urges or the whatever, like the main qualities of an alpha, but he's possessive, obsessive, strong, bulky, fucking insane.
I'm gonna have fun with this one and say he's Omega. That way we get an Omega and Omega relationship.
Yeah, you can't do that just because you want the Omega. Like, you gotta go with.
I truly, genuinely feel like Andrew's an Omega.
Why,
dude? Vibes.
What? I just gave you 7 examples of why I thought he was an alpha. Yeah,
he's just so pretty.
Yeah,
he's just so pretty.
Andrew?
Yeah. In my mind, Andrew's gorgeous.
I think canonically he's like a bear. Canonically, he's like, he has like a bulky body. Like, he has like a more of a dad bod physique. But like
not in my mind, not in my world.
Like
that's a twink.
Like not a twink canonically, even a little bit. Like
a twunk, a fit twink. But he plays a sport.
Yeah, but he's like canonically, he's a little bit like that's why I said body types, because his, like, Nora and everyone, like, most people don't draw him like that because they're drawing them pretty and standard typical. Pretty. But canonically, like, he's described as a little bit more on the bulky side.
No.
Like a little bit on the, like, muscular dad bod.
In my mind, that's a twunk.
Like a hockey player.
In my mind, Andrew's gorgeous.
Yeah. I mean,
he's probably gorgeous.
Are you saying dad bods and bigger bodies aren't gorgeous?
No, but I'm saying Andrew's gorgeous in the way that Omega is.
Get a load of this guy.
Don't even get me started. Because if anyone's fatphobic, it's you.
Right.
Don't even get me started on Bree's fatphobia. Looked me dead in the eyes today and called me ginormous. Crazy. Mm-hmm. All right, let's end with
Meanwhile, I told her last night that she should get more naked and I should stare at her naked. Why would I tell you that? If I wasn't in love with your body.
Anyway, our grand finale. There's a lot of discourse in the world.
There's so much discourse.
This is a duo.
And everybody's wrong.
Every
wrong. Single person's wrong. Including her.
Specifically, we agree on one of them.
Yeah.
On the other one, we disagree. And the two people we're talking about are none other than, you really can't see them because there's a massive glare, but they're riddled in our entire household. It is Gojo and Geto. Now, both Bree and I agree that Geto is an alpha. Where we differ is Gojo. I, in my heart of hearts, I know. And as much as I would love for Gojo to be an Omega, I know that Gojo's an alpha.
Yeah. I think there are two possibilities. There is the more, if you want to call it more realistic, of the two. I think they're an alpha and alpha dynamic.
I agree.
But, my personal headcanon, and nobody knows Tatasugu more than I do.
That's true.
And especially, nobody knows my close personal friend, Suguru Geto, better than me. Better than I. I know everything about him, and I'm right on every aspect of him. So that's an alpha. I think Gojo's an Omega. And you might be wondering, well, does Suguru, can't he get pregnant? Yes. And do you know why he can get pregnant? Because Gojo is the strongest, right? Canonically, he's the strongest in the entire universe, his universe. I think he's the first Omega, because he's so powerful, to get an alpha pregnant. I think, that dynamic is, you can call him an enigma if you want to, but that's stupid. And you shouldn't, and you're wrong. He's an Omega.
Like we said, there's only one enigma, and it's fucking Hudson Williams.
He's an Omega.
Sorry, there's three.
The thought of him being just so powerful. And, if you want to go back to the dynamics of being, the Omegas are, the pieces of shit of the world. Scum on the bottom of your shoe. Nobody likes them. You can't get a job, whatever. And he's just breaking all of the boundaries. Because canonically, he breaks all the boundaries. The higher-ups are he sucks, Gojo's this, Gojo's that. He's the strongest. They're using him as a weapon. He's breaking those boundaries. He's going against those boundaries. He's going against the Omega standard.
The same reason that you think Gojo is an Omega is the same reason that I think Andrew is an Omega.
You can't say that now.
I was thinking about it during the argument. I was just waiting for you to tell your reasonings on why you think Gojo's an Omega.
Yeah. I forgot what I was going to say.
Sorry.
But, yeah, I think he's an Omega, and I think
that's an alpha.
Geto. And if you want to go back into canon, right? He smelled Suguru.
Okay, alpha's gonna do that.
Yeah, but it's not the same. He also is just playful. He's dainty, which I know I said. If you want to go back into the alpha dynamics and why can't an alpha be dainty? I just think being Omega that can get an alpha pregnant is more powerful than being an alpha.
But I think Gojo isn't that powerful enough considering he loses and he dies.
He only loses if he dies because he was trapped in a box.
Loser.
He was trapped in a... The first thing he did when he got out of that box was fight
I don't know, don't tell me.
What do you mean? I told you already.
I forgot.
I told you in 2026, 2027 or whatever, the second part is coming out, and then the movie, Suguru and... Oh, sorry.
He dies right after he comes out of the box? Don't tell me.
He doesn't die right after, but he fights Sukuna.
That happens right after the box?
Yes. He dies on the same day that Suguru died, a year later, which is December 31st.
Oh my God,
right now it's November
Halloween.
9th. It's right now I think it was November 2nd.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I didn't realize it was that close.
I said that when we were watching
it. It didn't click until right now. Bree does this thing where they forget that it takes me a couple seconds to put the pieces together. It didn't click until right now. I didn't realize it was that close.
When we first watched it.
It didn't click.
When
it didn't, like,
the new
click.
season.
Speaking of which, what do you think about them?
when we started watching this new season, it was like October 31st. I was like, you're telling me this culling game lasts until only a month, and then Gojo's out of the box, and then he fights him in 2 months? I looked at you when I said that.
I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
One, not paying attention. 2,
yes.
I forgot. 3,
and then he fights. And then that movie is The Fight in 2028.
And he dies?
And then he dies.
How much longer is it after he dies until the end?
It's only a day.
Till the end of the show?
No, The Fight.
No, I'm saying, but like,
Sukuna? I don't know.
Like, how many months?
Until Sukuna dies?
Yeah, until the end. The end.
I have no idea. I have zero.
Nobody fucking tell me.
After the Gojo
this is
Sukuna.
enough spoilers as it is. You can clearly see I either knew and forgot, or I just don't know. And let me forget. Let me forget.
Yeah. After this, I don't know any minor other it's bits and bobs of it. Obviously, Gojo dying is a huge spoiler, but that's just inevitable to find out. You could not avoid that even a little bit. There are memes everywhere about it.
I avoided the fucking Eren Yeager of it all, though, and I'm proud of myself for that.
Yeah. But, any minor, I don't know if anyone dies in the culling game. I don't know what goes on. I know I know one thing about Megami, and I know one thing about Yuta.
I can't believe he's gonna die so soon.
Yes.
I mean, granted, it's gonna be 7 years from now, but,
Yeah. For us, it's in 3 years. But this whole thing, it was a year. Barely. From when Suguru dies to... Because when you think about it, Tokyo what is it? Shibuya. That was only 5 hours.
That was Halloween.
That lasted 5 hours.
Right.
That whole season was 5 hours.
Dude, I can't believe that he's gonna die so soon.
Yeah. I mean, we're not gonna get it. We're not. It's gonna end with him breaking out of the box this season in 2027. Because what the fuck?
Anyway, Gojo's an alpha.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said it. You agree. Clip it.
I didn't say that.
You did. I said, and that's why Gojo's an alpha. And you said,
was still talking about
I know,
another point.
but I got you. Anyway.
Yeah, no. But anyway, yeah. Gojo being an Omega. Him being the most powerful.
I just think he is the perfect example of an alpha.
And
that's alpha. That's dominant alpha, dominant.
And getting an alpha pregnant is everything. I just don't think he's just not dominant. He's inherently not dominant. He's not a dominant being, even a little bit, at all. He lets the kids walk all over him. He maybe sometimes stands up to the higher ups, but barely. And he lets Suguru walk away.
Nah, that's an alpha. That's a dominant alpha. That's just what he is in my mind.
You can call him an alpha, but you can't call him dominant. He's just not. Canonically,
dominant
just not.
as in genetically, not dominant as in personality.
How are you dominant genetically?
What did you literally just say earlier about
him being powerful?
No. How are you dominant genetically? Genetically, the Punnett square. He's a dominant alpha genetically. But, his personality doesn't have to be dominant. That's what you just said earlier. Why is it Omega gotta be
but you said he's the dominant
alpha? I meant genetically. He's genetically a dominant alpha. 6 eyes fucking right there. You think 6 eyes was fucking... That's a dominant genetically. Punnett square genetically is what I'm referring to me right now.
No. And just him being all-powerful being Omega is just so much cooler.
No, I agree. I would really genuinely love for him to be an Omega. I don't think he is.
There was something else that I wanted to say, too. Oh, he has Suguru wrapped around his finger. He gets him to do anything. He canonically loves sweets. Has a sweet tooth. And what did we say? Going back to the scents, Omegas typically have a sweet scent. Of course he's gonna smell like fucking cotton candy and
what do you think he smells
taffy.
Like? Cotton candy?
Probably taffy. I think he smells like taffy.
What do you think Ghetto smells like? Depression.
He smells like smoke.
Yeah.
That's a smoke fog, like a rainy fog.
Yeah.
That's what Suguru smells like.
Smog.
Yeah.
It smells like smog. Laffy Taffy and smog.
But Folks Washington Twilight. How you would imagine...
Forks! Washington.
How you would imagine Twilight to smell. That's how Suguru smells.
Yeah. Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, any final thoughts on the Omegaverse? This has been, I think, one of my favorite episodes so far. I'm having so much fun.
I wasn't done talking about Suguru, but sure.
Anything else you want to say about him?
No.
Are you sure?
You could talk about him forever.
Yeah, I know. We've been doing this for an hour and a half.
Also, Yeah. No. Because, right. That's my main point. My main point is, like, Subaru being an alpha, right? He ingests, and, like, technically, like, the worm called him Mom, right? And his jujitsu technique is swallowing his...
Gay.
Gay! Is swallowing these cursed, whatever the fuck, energies, right? He is the first alpha to be able to get pregnant. And
because
Gojo...
the curses are affecting his womb.
Yes. And Gojo is the first Omega to become... or to get an alpha pregnant because he's just the most alpha. And I think it's even more fun to be like, in the Gojo clan, right? Everyone's like, this is a family of alphas, obviously. This is a clan of alphas and alphas only. And then you give birth to the 6 eyes motherfucker who hasn't been a thing in hundreds of years. This is the first one. And he's an Omega. Imagine the chaos. And that's why they all hate him. That's why the higher ups hate him, because he's supposed to be an alpha. He sucks. Yeah.
I think because I'm enjoying your idea so much, I could suspend my disbelief. Like, I know he's an alpha, but I'm just really having such a fun idea.
I think canonically it makes sense.
I'm having just such a fun idea with your world, and I really think I can't write or draw or read. So I'm not going to be able to help in this, but I think we should start a revolution in the way that Winchester, whatever the fuck, Wincest started the Omegaverse. I think you can start the next movement of the Omegaverse with that.
Yeah, dude.
Someone put pen to paper, but give brief copyright.
Copywriting this idea.
I think you should.
I'll put it right here. I just think canonically that makes sense. Like, it just all makes sense.
I think it's a really fun idea. Mm-hmm. I'm having a great time listening to it. I really, really am. I'm really trying to believe in it. I think he's an alpha, but like I really like your idea. So like I said, I'll suspend my disbelief.
Like I
stand behind the agenda.
I can see the alpha of it all, but I draw the line. I literally draw the line. Like if you were like, no, Subaru's an Omega, we would have to have fought a long time ago.
No, I would not. I'm not an idiot.
Because any of you pieces of shit out there that's like ghetto's an Omega, eat fucking grass. You suck. Burn in hell. Rot. Because it's incorrect. And like I said, nobody knows my personal friend, Subaru Ghetto, more than I. Him and I are like this. Purple, halo, whatever. I'll hollow your purple.
Alright, and now any more thoughts about the Omegaverse?
No.
I think we did a pretty good job of summing it up for those of you
I feel like the basics
that don't know anything about it.
As we have said or have stated multiple times throughout this entire video, is these are just the standards. There are branches. There are so many different other worlds, other dynamics, other things that maybe we didn't even touch base on.
Yeah.
Because it's just so vast.
Yeah.
It's just such a large world.
Leave a comment down below if you want us to talk more about the Omegaverse, if you want us to play more of our game that we did, our 2 games, if there's another kind of dynamics or like the worlds that you'd like us to, because we'll read anything. So here's ever stuff you want us to do research on and present to you. Let us know in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you had fun on our first miscellaneous day. The next, aside from Cap for Cash video that you'll be seeing for us, should be our All for the Court Book 2.
Yeah, The Raven King.
Ooh, I didn't know that was the name of it. But that's exciting. So, yeah, thank you so much. If you liked what you saw, spread the word, spread our clips, spread the videos.
Spread your cheeks.
Yeah.
Spread your legs.
Yeah. Get slick up, dude.
Slicked
Tell
up.
us in the comments what your
Slicked up, bricked up.
Tell us in the comments 2 things. 1, what you think your dynamic is. 2, send us a picture. Send us your Instagram. We'll tell you what your dynamic is. But
yeah.
Anyway, yeah. If you liked what you saw, please give us a
also, before we said anything, obviously we've been talking about it this entire time, but when you first saw us, ignore this video. Who did you what would you think our dynamic
We're about to post a poll on all of our socials. Be like, what do you think we are?
Yeah. What do you think we are? Alpha.
Omega.
If any of you fucking say, but we're not going to include beta, so don't even think about it. It's Alpha or Omega.
Enigma?
No. Same thing with the beta. Fucking stupid. At least Enigma's different. Like, at least Enigma's if you want to call it fantasy or make-believe or fake in the Omegaverse. A beta's just a normal bitch.
Anyway, so yeah, thanks so much for listening and hanging out with us. We hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe, follow down. All of our socials will be linked below. Give us a little comment. We like making friends. We like talking about the Omegaverse. But other than that,
I love talking about the Omegaverse.
We'll be seeing you the next time we see you, alrighty? Sorry, guys. I don't know. I go into my music therapy mode when I say goodbye and hello. I do it every day. It's kind of ingrained. Anyway, be gay, do crimes.
Stop saying
that. Read some Omegaverse.
Yeah, read some Omegaverse.
Jerk off
really
to
get into
Dionysus.
that. Yeah, don't forget to jerk off and say thank you to Dionysus.
Yeah. Anyway, bye.